Hi, Grace. How you doing?
Hi, I'm doing great.
Good. I hope you enjoy these little press days that we have, and I hope it's not too repetitive with the questions.
Not at all.
Well, this is not going to be any different. First of all, congratulations on Alaska Daily. It is just a wonderful powerhouse of a show.
Thank you. All the journalists seem to love it. They may be a little biased, but getting great feedback.
Well, I grew up on great movies about journalism, things like 30, and of course Lou Grant back in the day, and in talking about how newspapers are still, one of the lifebloods of the country, and even in small rural areas, how much they rely on the local papers.
Yeah, my first job was delivering papers when I was in elementary school, so I've been connected for a while.
You've been working since you were 5 years old, and uh,
I had my first TV show at 9, so it's been a while.
the character of Roz is she's such a layered character and a wonderful character. Uh, are first of all, I mean, was it always on the page? And how much do you add to Roz as an actor?
I try to approach every role I do with authenticity. I really believe that if you don't bring a piece of yourself, it's not a real character. So I have to still follow what's on the page, especially when it comes to journalism, and especially when it comes to playing a character like this. But at the same time, the writers or directors don't necessarily understand completely my lived experiences as a native woman. So I try to find that balance, really follow the character that's been written for me, but also make sure to bring in those layers that bring Roz to life.
And on a more serious note, I mean, the series does a great deal and has a great deal of empathy for Native American women that are, just disappearing and continues, to talk about it.
Yeah, that's what really drew me to this role. I've always wanted to tell stories that matter. I've always wanted to portray characters that are going to create change, and that's what Alaska Daily does. I mean, it tackles stories on missing and murdered Indigenous women, which is very close to my heart. It's very important to my communities, and so to be able to share that on network television, I think it's incredible.
And in working with, I always call her just a, international treasure, Hilary Swank. Um, she is just an amazing scene partner, I would imagine.
Oh, working with Hillary, it's so fascinating. I mean, watching her work, I try not to, get too lost in the scene, because just watching her choices, watching the way she makes it seem so easy. And I think that's what's so beautiful is she puts so much work into it, but at the end of the day, it's also about being really present. And so when I'm in a scene with her and we're connecting, we're just there. We're in it.
Does that give and take come from your theater background in working with like one person at a time and doing scenes like that?
Uh, I think that, it takes working with better actors. It takes working with people who have more experience than you to remind you to be present. Otherwise, it's just two people in their heads, two talking heads, rather than really experiencing and feeling, because that's where the magic happens. And I think I definitely learned that in training with some incredible teachers. But at the end of the day, it's just reminding yourself to honestly be in your breath and in your body.
We feel that as an audience too. I mean, as in watching the series, whenever you and Hillary are sharing a scene, it really feels real because you guys are,
Mm.
in the moment and in the truth of that scene.
Well, and that's the thing about acting is, yes, it's the words are written for us. Yes, we're playing, people that are other than ourselves, but there also has to be so much truth to it. Otherwise, what's the point? And so there is, and with Alaska Daily, there's so many themes that are so prevalent and real to us today.
Yeah. And we're winding down season 1. Has there been talk of season 2 yet?
Well, we all talk about it a lot. Our group chat is firing. We're bugging Tom McCarthy, we're bugging our producers regularly, but none of us know. We hope that our followers and our fans continue supporting us because we appreciate it so much. And I would be so happy to be able to do this all again.
Are you surprised at the amount of fans that are following the show?
Going into it, I think we were all very humble, knowing that this could go over people's heads. It might be too real, but the fact that I'm getting so many messages across North America from people either going, I'm glad that people are finally talking about MMIW, or the other half of people who are going, I had no idea. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for bringing this message to my TV. So I'm grateful either way.
Yeah, I love the fact that we learn something every episode. There's something new for us to absorb, and it's done in such a way. Your writers are brilliant.
Our writing room is phenomenal. They all came to set for their episodes, so the writers were there. They were open. They were willing to. They're like, maybe this didn't work. Let's try this. Or we would say, what do you think about this? And they'd go, absolutely, let's do it. It was such a collaboration. I think that's important, to have everyone's voices heard.
Wow, that's a wonderful gift for the actors to feel that kind of trust with their writing staff.
Exactly, because they'll write so much, but then once they see the character on their feet, or once they see us saying those words, hear us saying those words, then all of a sudden we can come together and really create the nuances.
Grace, in our final moments, what do you think audiences who haven't discovered Alaska Daily will take away from the series once they do see it?
My biggest hope in all the work that I do is to inspire change, inspire curiosity, and also to be entertained. I think that that's important as well. I mean, you'll see a lot of laughs within the show. It's not all heavy. You'll see a family. You'll see a community of journalists, and I hope that people get inspired to follow, journalism within their community.
I think that's a great thing to accomplish, and all the best to you. I'm such a fan of yours. I'm gushing like a schoolgirl right now, but you are you are a very powerful and wonderful actress. And as my mother would say, you're in the right business.
Yes. Thank you. I'd love to hear that.
Well, thank you for your time. And again, Alaska Daily, it's such a great show, and the entire cast is just like watching a well-formed orchestra.
I agree. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.